You have a patient sitting in front of you who just lost a loved one. They are grieving, but giving them the wrong grief remedy is worse than giving them nothing at all. Is it the erratic, hysterical sob of Ignatia? The silent, wall building resentment of Natrum more? Or the total vital collapse of phosphoric acid? Today, we aren't just reading Materia Medica. We are learning the clinical evolution of grief so you never miss the Simillimum again. Stick around until the end, where I'll share the one secret keynote for each that confirms the remedy in under 60 seconds.
So, first things first, we have to get this straight. Grief is not a static event, it's a dynamic process, a journey that the human organism takes, and it evolves over time. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. Think of this as the path of unresolved grief. We're going to follow how the vital force, the body's core energy, responds. It starts with an acute functional crisis, that's our Ignatia stage. Then it can move into a chronic structural entrenchment, which is natural near. And finally, if it's still left unresolved, it can lead to a complete vital and metabolic collapse, and that's phosphoric acid. So our jury begins right at the moment of impact, the acute shock. This is the immediate, kind of chaotic response to emotional blow. This is Ignatia's territory, where the whole problem is functional. The nervous system is just in an uproar, that the body's actual structure hasn't changed yet. The keyword here, paradox. So yeah, Ignatia is really the quintessential remedy for that initial shock and pain. The whole system is just completely dysregulated, trying to process a sudden loss or a huge disappointment. Everything is hyporeactive and contradictory. And this slide, it just lays out that theme of paradox perfectly. You've got these wild, erratic emotions, laughing one minute, sobbing the next. There's involuntary sighing, that classic lump in the throat, and even physical spasms and twitching. But here's the clincher. They have a total aversion to consolation. Trying to comfort them can actually make things worse and even trigger an outburst. Okay, so what happens when that acute storm of Ignatia just doesn't resolve? Well, the grief doesn't just vanish. It digs in deep, and it transitions from a purely functional problem to a chronic structural one. And this brings us to stage 2, the chronic wall, the fortress of Natrum muriaticum. At this point, the grief has literally become a part of the person's personality structure. To shield themselves from any more emotional pain, the nature mure patient builds this wall of invulnerability. They become introverted, they want to be alone, and may just brood, dwelling on painful memories over and over again. And you can really see that shift to structural pathology right here. This silent grief starts to manifest physically. You get the classic craving for salt, Inska Ors in the sun, but the most famous sign is this profound physical dryness, which leads to that trademark crack right down the middle of the lower lip. And notice, they want to be alone. They actively push people away because consolation just aggravates them. It makes them feel pitied or irritated. So, what if the wall built by natural murs still doesn't resolve the grief? The body's vital force can't keep up that high-tension state forever. Eventually, something has to give. And that leads to our final stage, the burnout. The complete depletion, the empty battery of phosphoric acid. So we're not talking about an active state of sadness here anymore. This is just pure exhaustion. The emotional strain has gone on for so long that it's led to a total system collapse. The patient just doesn't have any energy left for an emotional response. The defining feature now? Apathy and indifference. The crucial point here is the shift from that actively suppressed grief to just apathy. They're not holding back their feelings like nature mirror was, but tank is simply empty. They're indifferent to things they used to love. And as for consolation, it doesn't make them angry. They're just too tired to care one way or the other. Now, this is where people can get confused, telling these two silent states apart. The absolute key is to understand the energy that's behind the silence. Natural mur is quiet and protective. They feel prickly because they are actively holding back these intense, boiling emotions. Phosphoric acid, on the other hand, is quiet and empty. They feel gray and listless because there's literally no energy left to even produce an emotion. Let's break down one more huge differentiator, how they react to consolation. Look, it's not enough to just know they don't like it. You have to know why. Ignatia is averse because sympathy just triggers their instability. Natrum mur is actively aggravated. It feels intrusive, even humiliating. And phosphoric acid, simply indifferent. They're just too tired to react at all. All right, as promised, here's the payoff. These are the single secret keynotes that can help you confirm the Simillimum in under 60 seconds. Think of these as the final undeniable clues. For Ignatia, it's the ultimate paradox. That feeling of a lump in the throat, the globus hystericus, it actually feels better when they swallow something solid. I mean, logically, that should make it feel worse, right? But that contradiction, that is the very heart of Ignatia. For Natrum, the clue is etched right onto their body. It's the map of silent sorrow, a deep vertical crack right in the center of the lower lip. This is such a powerful physical sign that confirms that chronic, dried-up state of suppressed grief. And for phosphoric acid, here's the vital clue you need to look for. Even though they are totally exhausted all day, a short sweep can make them feel significantly better, at least for a little while. This powering out modality is a hallmark of the remedy. It's an incredible confirmatory sign. So there you have it, the clear evolution of unresolved grief, from the functional crisis of Ignatia to the structural defense of Natrum, all the way to the vital collapse of phosphoric acid. But the story doesn't always end there. Now you know how to differentiate the 3 stages of grief, but grief often leads to deeper physical pathology, specifically skin issues. So if your Natrum patient starts developing chronic eczema, you need to know what comes next. To learn more, quick video right here and learn all about the skin-mind connection in homeopathy. I'll see you in the next case.